Okay, this is a really simple video, and I think I'm going to start using my imagination to kind of open the doors to love stories throughout history that were never told, or that kind of to get on the topic. And this one is because today there's a festival, Powwow Festival, William and Mary, where there's Native American culture and the drum circles and the crafts and everything. And then I was outside just kind of watching the trees and animals and everything is doing the um, to kind of, and right after that, I thought to myself, what if there was, we have the two-spirited natives, and that was always referring to um, the gay, the bisexual, or the transgendered, two-spirited Native Americans. That was always revered as the nurturing, the kind, two-spirited. It was accepted. It was not a big deal in Native culture. So that was already accepted in this land before anybody else came to this land. Um, but then I got a really cool idea of just a cool scene out of a movie. Well, what if, when White Man came over and it was kind of, I pictured a guy, he had his musket, he goes down to the river, he's washing out his clothes, wringing it out. And then across the river, um, behind the trees, or, a very curious Native American, um, gay, but kind of checking out this other, and kind of this curiosity between the two sides of this guy, the spirited guy, wringing out his clothes, kind of a sexy scene, I think, and just the curiosity, kind of like an unspoken, but using intuition and that kind of energy. You imagine like him passing by the trees and looking over, just a very, very sexy thing. Um, and just maybe like a story that was untold in history. But if not, I would kind of make this part of the scenes, and kind of that cross culture. Um, I'd actually love to expand on that scene too, and see what would happen in a story here in the future. Because I have a lot of things like that, especially too. You have Viking culture and everything, the love stories of that Viking culture and the native culture. Um, and it just kind of expands the broad perspective too. Um, but um, but then kind of on top of that too, I'm going to open with a love story, and then looking at the native culture, the cultivating the land, the all natural remedies, the organic remedies. And I myself, tobacco is addictive, but I try to stick to American spirits, which are the naturals without the carcinogens. And then we look at everything that's going on with legalizing marijuana and everything, and how it's a natural remedy, the painkillers, and everything. And I think it was last night that I was thinking, smoking is one of my biggest habits, but at first I was like, what if I did a campaign to quit smoking, to legalize marijuana? Because what was interesting is I realized when I was there last night, I was a younger crowd. Barely any of them are smoking cigarettes. But we know this generation, they smoke weed. So what if smoking weed kind of inhibits, or I mean, kind of nullifies, the need to smoke cigarettes? Um, which is funny too with myself. I made it through high school, through college, without smoking cigarettes. And I did smoke weed a lot, but that prevented me from smoking cigarettes. And weed does have a lot of beneficial factors, and the most unhealthy part of myself right now is smoking cigarettes. So a lot of people that know me, smoking cigarettes, you get the bad taste in your mouth. It's bad for your teeth. Those are like the things health-wise I really don't like, especially when exercising. It kind of gets in the way. But then when you smoke weed too, you kind of listen to the music and you get the energy to start moving. Smoke a little bit before you work out, and it's a huge benefit. So I would say that's kind of my message to people in America. Like, what if we rebelled or resisted the tobacco industry? Except for those that do natural remedies that do not put intentional carcinogens that get you addicted to it. And then we kind of transfer everything over to start investing and pouring everything into those companies that do make safe cigarettes and make those the most popular cigarettes out there. Um, So this is kind of the way I think, guys. I think what's American spirits. There's a few of them, and even looking into that, you know, all natural product of tobacco. Basically, the leaf um, dried and put and crumbled and put into cigarettes. You know, that's the truest form, without the pesticides, without, you know, that's the way it never had to be anything more than that. That's a true essence of tobacco smoking. So I think our culture getting back to that is extremely important. And also, marijuana and everything has always been on the land. It has so many good value remedies. Um, and you know, modern days too, we're able to, like I saw, there's THC pills that are both painkillers, and it has a THC in it, so it gets rid of the pain, but also keeps you happier for the time being. But I have to do more research, but I don't think it gives you that quite that high after you smoke it. So even on a modern day times, you know, you can still take the benefits from THC and make it better, especially with seizures and a lot of ailments. And we see a severe and significant drop in the opioid overdoses and everything, the 25% drop in those states that have introduced marijuana. So legalizing marijuana is definitely a great thing, especially the revenue and taxes and everything. This is kind of um, the common sense part of the whole thing, and even people that are addicted to opioids, heroin, meth, I don't know, a lot of stuff like that. It was kind of like introducing something like this. Listen, guys, if we make this legal, marijuana legal, across the nation, this is going to benefit you. You can get yourself off of those pills and that addiction, um, and start become cleaner and still enjoy and enhance the use of weed for a good benefits for a healthier consciousness and healthier state of mind. So I really think this can be great. You know, here in 5 to 10 years, we'll have a lot more shops, coffee shops, a lot more lounges, and a lot making a more communal thing, not a we're getting away with smoking weed kind of thing, because that's a bad stigma. That's what got so many people in trouble. But we can profit off of these kinds of things in so many of the industries, even those industries that are working against it. They haven't quite been given the right information to understand. Listen, brother, you know, you can switch over to something better, and then you're not going to get yourself in a bad situation, and in those conglomerates, you know, the prison system and charging for marijuana use and all that stuff. If you learn, if you're sophisticated, if you're a businessman, you should see the trends ahead of the time and be able to invest in what's going to help get you out of the stink. Because everybody's, you know, we don't like the big pharma, pharmaceuticals and everything, but when we learn that actually profiting off of being a healthier person in general is what's going to save us, the country, and those people that are already in a shithole, that have charges against them for being corrupted, um, see ahead of the game and learn what to actually invest in, as Americans, as people, and this will help move people along, I think so. Um, and I do love that story. I think I'm going to start doing that more, opening up with a love story, to kind of grab the attention, just to understand, you know, maybe, you know, maybe those two by the river, you know, smoking a peace pipe, and can get pretty intense, pretty sexy, you know, staring at the stars, gazing at the stars. That could be a really cool scene, I think. Wow, that could be a really sexy scene. Um, but uh, but anyway, so that's how I think. You know, you know, I'm such an awful person for trying to get these stories out there. So I'm gonna continue doing this. Much love, guys. I'll keep this simple, but yeah, yeah, guys, we can do this. There's too much sensationalism. We got to get over this. It's time to start being um, understanding. So much love, guys.